Great Halloween parties begin at Walgreens.
For Halloween, Toys R Us doesn't miss a trick.
This morning, Billy looked like any other boy, but as the moon rose, he turned into a werewolf.
Next to my big friend, I love the big taste of chocolate in this little Hershey's Kiss.
Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab.
So I was thinking on the way home today, actually, that's how quick it came to me. That's why I texted you.
Knowing you were coming here.
Yeah, and I was trying to think of things to think about or to talk about, and what randomly popped in my head was, do you remember the magical time of us being kids? Late 80s, early 90s, and actually I guess all the way through the 90s. There used to be Halloween commercials every year around Halloween. Like every store had one, right? Or every store, every brand, everything. And I don't see them anymore. Now, I guess we are streaming everything now, so there aren't a lot of commercials, I guess.
I think there are still some.
Like, I've seen one for
because
Walmart.
I see them on wrestling, when I watch wrestling live.
You still watch it. Yeah, okay, because you, record it, right? Or DVR it?
Well, I have the Hulu Live now, so I don't know if I'll see it this year as much.
Okay, but you actually see commercials still.
I do see some commercials, yeah.
Because I've seen, the Walmart one where they have a party. Target might have some.
Well,
I don't know.
It's funny because the one that... it's really funny, actually, when you think about it. There's some that, when you're a kid, are still around. For example, I'll go non-Halloween first.
All right.
The Christmas one.
The Hershey Kiss one?
The Hershey Kiss.
Okay, yeah. That's actually, for how much I get down on Christmas, I love seeing that Hershey Kiss commercial.
It's Brandy's favorite commercial.
It's something about it. It's so simple, and it's something you remember that was there in the 90s.
It was there when we were literally probably 7 years old.
Yeah.
Since I can remember, that commercial's been on.
Yeah.
Now, the other one is the Cadbury Easter Bunny.
I don't know if I remember that one.
Where it's like there's a real bunny, and it's like the Cadbury Easter Bunny. It was around when we were kids. It's still around this year.
Okay.
For sure, I saw it.
Now, going back to Christmas, the polar bear, I think, is still there.
Yeah.
That's the same commercial.
I don't know if I saw that this year, but yeah. The polar bear definitely was there, at least a couple years ago, up to.
Okay.
So, up to a few years ago, and I don't know if I saw it this year, but the vampire teeth Reese's.
How a cow eats a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I like to eat the peanut butter first.
There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
Oh, when it takes the bite. Did they take the bite out of the Reese's?
You eat your Reese's.
Yeah, and you see the fangs.
I think that has still been around, and that was around when we were kids.
Okay.
And that was always a good one.
Mm-hmm.
The Reese's always does good ones as far as...
They do holiday ones. Plus the Reese's has the pumpkin and all that. Like, they actually make something.
But that's new. The Halloween pumpkin is a newer thing. That was because the egg was so popular, I think, that the pumpkin came out probably, I would say, early 2000s, but it wasn't around in 1982.
I guess you're right. A Reese Cup's a Reese Cup.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there are actually ones of them and probably M&M's, right? M&M's has, the colorful bag. I saw, they have, the purple, black, and, orange M&M's now.
Yeah,
But there's not many things...
They have, the candy corn M&Ms and stuff like that.
Those are really... Have you had those? I don't like them.
No, they're not very good. They taste like white chocolate.
Yeah, I got so excited about them and just kind of I got to finish it because I paid for them.
Yeah, and they only available in the big fucking bag, and you're like, ah.
But, yeah, so, I don't know. I maybe it's because I'm older and I don't pay attention to stuff, but I feel like that Halloween was more of a thing. On TV, product-wise.
Totally.
You buy a bag of Doritos, there'd be something on it. Budweiser would have signs and probably, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to think. So I wanted to ask, and after I asked you, I realized that I don't even know if I have one, but I have a group of them. But do you have a favorite Halloween commercial from the 90s?
So it's
growing up. It doesn't have to be from the 90s, I guess, but growing up.
It's funny. I usually go early 90s. I veer towards my childhood because when I think about Halloween, and it was a slow burn for me because every kid's favorite holiday is Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I would think second has to be Halloween because you got candy.
And that's why. But Halloween at some point early in my childhood eclipsed Christmas as far as looking forward to and having fun during it.
Mm-hmm.
And Christmas was close second, still is. I love Christmas, but It was around my second grade year, I know for sure. I remember we didn't put out our decorations until late in the year, maybe even the week of, and it was all of those die cut.
Let's say that's unheard of.
Yeah, for the Dixon
household.
Right. And so it was all those die cut, just those cardboard. Bissell is the main company that did them. Decorations that you just threw a piece of Scotch tape on and put them in the window. That's what my mom did. But we had like a book fair or something like that this year.
Were you here?
No, it was St. Joe's in Michigan. And they had these little Halloween bendable figures. There was a scarecrow, a skeleton.
Oh, the old... Do they even make those anymore?
No, I still have mine.
I don't know why I love those so much because what do you do with them? I could sit there for hours and just play with them.
They're on display in my glass case because I love them so much. But there was a witch, a scarecrow, a skeleton / mummy. You're not 100% sure what it is.
I might have had a mummy, actually, now I think about it.
And a goblin, I guess, would be the name of it. Or I guess he has teeth, so I guess he's a vampire, but he kind of looks more like a goblin to me. So I got him, and I remember just being like so ecstatic. And the next year, my dad was out living in Mississippi, and he was going to come home for one of the first times at Halloween. So it became one of those things that I was all excited about. He was going to take me out trick-or-treating and blah, blah, blah. But it was a slowly, like, Halloween became my favorite holiday. So the thing that I remember most as far as commercials go, and the thing I got most excited about, because it was a slow burn, a slow build, was about probably 2 weeks before it aired, the Garfield Halloween commercials would start to air.
It's a night of spooky surprises.
Oh, Halloween.
For America's favorite fat cat. Don't bat your eyes. Garfield's Halloween adventure will have you shaking in your boots.
The commercials for the special.
Yes, and it would start to air, and it was always a Sunday night at 8. And Garfield Halloween is going to be on it. I freaking love it. I still love it. I probably watch it 6 times every Halloween. And so when they would start to show that, I would get super excited and just one of those things where it was a slow build to it. Because back then, you didn't have DVDs. You didn't have VHS copies of it necessarily. It probably VHS copy, it was there, but you didn't have it. It wasn't something your parents went out and bought.
Well, that one episode's like a $20 VHS too.
Right.
Like, so it's...
But if you missed it, you had to wait till next year. And that was the killer part.
That was I had the same feeling for Sleepy Hollow.
Who's that coming down the street?
Are they shovels or are they feet?
Mean and lanky,
skin and bone, with clothes, a scarecrow with hay to own.
I could not miss it. I always had to watch that every year, so I know what you're talking about. Because if you forgot it, or if you just were like 5 minutes late, you had to wait. It wasn't getting replayed. So,
and if you remember, after the commercial breaks, it would be like Garfield Halloween Adventure, presented by
and then
Reese's.
And there was voiceovers for everything, wasn't there?
Yeah, and it was.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, it was such a, but that was one of the things I look forward to. The other one, there's 3 that I remember right off the bat. And including the Reese's. The Reese's is obviously still around. Always have done a good job. McDonald's is one of the bigger ones for me because I love the McNugget Buddies. Yeah. And so when those came out and those commercials came out, I was here for the first year of McNugget Buddy Halloween. I think they might have already done McNugget Buddies before that, but they hadn't done the Halloween versions.
Damn, Billy! Starring Ronald McDonald and the Chicken McNugget. Ronald, nice to see you in this mess of the woods. Come on.
It was my first year here, I do believe. Remember, we went out mattress shopping, which is just about as boring as it could be, but my mom told me that we would go and I could get a Happy Meal. Yeah. And I just wanted the pumpkin McNugget Buddy, and I fucking got it. Well, and I couldn't believe it.
So you'd be the best person to ask this then. Did they give you the McNugget Buddy and the pail? Or is the pail something separate?
The pail was different year.
Okay, because I remember the pail was the toy. And being kind of confused as a kid because you'd open the pail, you'd see your cheeseburger, you'd see your fries, and there's no toy, and it was confusing.
That was the toy. So in the McNugget Buddy years, there was actually just the regular Happy Meal box, but it had McNugget Buddy stuff on it.
Well, that's saying, couldn't you make the box into like a thing, like a house,
it was a diorama.
You could do something with. Okay, I remember that now.
I actually have 2 still.
The boxes?
Yeah, they got sent to me when I bought the 3 that I didn't have from eBay, that was part of it, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't even know it because I wasn't even paying attention.
Does it smell like McDonald's?
Because no,
it doesn't.
Not that I recall.
Does it smell old? Because that has to be from the 90s, right?
Yeah, it would be like 93, 94.
Okay.
So, and then the other one that I remember, because I was a big wrestling fan, I believe it was Elvira did Halloween Havoc.
I think I might know what you're talking about there. Yeah, just seeing random stuff, like watching old wrestling stuff now.
And the one that I remember the most was Spin the Deal, Make the Wheel with Jake Roberts versus Sting.
Oh, hello, darlings. You caught me working on my biggest project ever. For my favorite wrestling event, Halloween Havoc 91.
Because it was big that Jake was moving to WCW and facing Sting. Ended up being a pretty bad match. It was a coal miner's glove match. Because they spin the wheel, and it would be like, oh, that's the match you're gonna have.
Whatever it lands on. Yeah.
And but the commercials were fucking awesome for it.
Was Elvira at the show? Like at the actual wrestling?
I don't recall.
Okay, she just was there to.
But she was there for the commercials, and they were awesome. So those are my big 3 that I'm like, I truly remember being excited to see it. And I didn't even watch Halloween Havoc, but it was still one of those things that made me oh, this looks awesome for Halloween, and it's wrestling too, and I wish I got to watch it. My parents are never going to let me get a $30 pay-per-view.
I think, bringing up Elvira, she's the one that I remember the most. If I remember, she always did a lot of the regular ones. I don't know if she did a Doritos or did she do a Doritos?
I think she might have done Doritos.
I remember, but I do remember the mug root beer one.
Wanna go psycho with me, Elvira? Here at the Bates Motel? Look for me wherever they sell mug root beer. And enter the Go Psycho with Elvira contest. You can be my guest at Universal Studios in Hollywood for a monstrous bash at the Bates Motel. Shower, anyone?
Because I loved mug root beer. Yeah, and so she was always just kind of the icon of doing those types of commercials, I feel. So I would say
that was probably where she landed at that point.
Where she became. Yeah. Because if you think about it, she's just a host. So she might have had a movie at the first movie. But yeah, so she was doing commercials everywhere and probably making appearances. I remember too, Universal Monsters seemed to be a thing.
Oh, Doritos. They had a Universal Monsters card that you could get in the Doritos pack.
And they were probably on the bags too or something.
And Pepsi too?
What? No dip? For a really great Halloween, pick up tons of Pepsi and Doritos.
I don't know if they looked like the Universal. They had the licensing, I feel, but I feel that everyone looked a little bit like the Kmart version of something. It didn't actually look like.
Well, it depends on the artist depiction.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I remember Doritos. I think there's probably even a Wolfman Bud Light one.
I think
a party animal type thing. There's a bad joke with that. So I remember a lot of those being huge because it's the thing of I was pretty late to the game watching Universal Monster movies, but you always know who they were. So you knew it was Halloween time if you saw them in commercials, And there'd always be some
Well, you didn't know that Phantom of the Opera was
a Universal. Yeah, the Invisible Man. I didn't the big ones. You Frankenstein,
Creature, Frankenstein, Dracula. Those are the big 3, and Wolfman, I suppose. But you know what? I would even say Bride of Frankenstein would be bigger than Wolfman.
Well, even knew her hair. I had never seen the movie or knew anything about it, but if you saw her hair, you knew who that was.
Right. Yeah, there's so many werewolves, but there's only one Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah. So I remember a lot of those. And I remember most of the commercials, there's always a howl. To make sure you knew it was scary in Halloween time. A howl and a lightning.
Right when the commercial started, it was
it's always a
dreaded sound.
And it's Halloween time's around the corner, so make sure you get your Reese cups.
Yeah, don't forget to go to Drug Mall.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too is that there's always a voiceover for the drugstore in your area.
Yeah.
And I don't know where these commercials came from. I don't know how they're getting Reese footage and putting in make sure you go to Hills, because that's only next to you.
It's awesome because when you see those commercials, because there's a lot of those on that tape, and it'll be don't forget to go to get your candy and to get your pails and your costumes for $1.97. You can get, and it's
it's if you buy 3, they're only $1.97 each. Make sure to ask your parents.
And it's those really cool
the mask and the paper.
Yeah, but what are those called?
But say you don't want me to tell you.
No, I feel as though I know it. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. Van Cooper.
Okay. So yeah, it's the.
See, I didn't have to Google it.
We beat Google. So yeah, I mean, and like that's a fascinating thing to me is that I feel like that growing up, the answer was always solved between Christmas and Halloween at the drugstore.
Yeah.
You got your candy, you got your. I mean, that's where I bought that Scream costume. Yeah, it is like, and for how much I love Halloween, I've never been a fan of like getting in costume, but like I remember.
Me neither. I rarely dress up.
Yeah, I was. Odd. And like I just kind of like we were in there getting candy, and I saw the Scream thing and just went like, and like got it, and I think that's what I was for like 3 years because I didn't feel like getting another costume.
Right.
But yeah, everything happened at the drugstore, and so yeah, it's always like come down to Drug Mart with your mom and make sure you get those candy apples.
You have a pretty good voice for it. That is exactly what it was too. It's like don't forget the
yeah.
It's almost we're coming to get you, Barbara. That's what it is.
That's all you have to do. That's like the vampire voice, isn't it?
It's kind of like it's a weak Dracula, almost like he's a little sick, a little under the weather.
Yeah, it's the very underacted Dracula where I don't feel like putting too much into it. But
don't forget your Drinos.
yeah, and
come to McDonald's.
Well, that's always a McDonald's voice too, wasn't it? Where it's okay, so it's like let's see if I can do this.
Grimace doesn't like vampires.
I'll say like let's see if we can do one. I'll put in the sound effects. It'd be like lightning, maybe a wolf howl, and there's never rain. It's just lightning.
Yeah.
And then Halloween is upon us at McDonald's.
Halloween is right around the corner.
Why don't you come to McDonald's and scare up an appetite with one Happy Meal, and you get your favorite McNugget buddies, and bring the parents too. Okay, so that's another thing. They would make you think that like as a kid you were the one in charge.
Yeah.
Like bring your parents along. Like, so it's like you're running the show.
Yeah.
The parents are just around to like probably drag the good times down.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to trick or treat. But then the other thing is that
remember
like
Count Chocula commercials.
Oh, that was
and the Boo Berry.
and
Frankenberry, and then there was what's the other one? Yummy Mummy.
Count Chocula and Frankenberry meet the Fruity Yummy Mummy.
Hey, have a bite. It's new Fruity Yummy Mummy cereal.
Big yummy marshmallows.
So monstrously big there. Monster Mellows. With Yummy Mummy Monster Mellows. Fruity Yummy Mummy makes your tummy go yummy.
But Yummy Mummy only lasted a little bit.
See, I think I've heard of Yummy Mummy. I don't think I've ever seen it or ate it. I didn't eat any of the cereals because I don't like marshmallows.
Well, to tell you the truth, they all suck besides Count Chocula. I'm sure there's some people that would be like, oh my god, you're so wrong. But Count Chocula is the only one that's eatable to me.
Okay. Well, you got chocolate marshmallows. You got double sugar.
Yeah. Well, the other one, it's all just probably the same sugar amount, but yeah.
Are there any, like, so you said there are ones that are still around now that we had. Are there any new ones? I guess the way we started this off? Or, like, does it feel, like, I don't know, like...
Like, will our kids look back? Could our kids do this podcast 20 years?
Yeah, and say, like, I remember this. But, like, at the same time, it's a weird thing because of there aren't really commercials. And, like, I doubt... And, like you're not really listening...
watch TV.
Yeah, and you're not really listening to radio. The most we have... Yeah, I mean, like, I text you, Maya watches Jeopardy, and that's about it. So it's like...
Yeah, it's...
Things like,
just changed.
Yeah, you're not hearing radio commercials. You're not... And then, like even the other thing of it, like, stay up late on Saturday night because we have one chiller of a movie for you.
Double feature.
Yeah, it's like the Creature double feature. Yeah. Like, there's not even like that anymore because, you don't need to.
It is, though. If you go on, like, AMC, it will do it. But you have to...
Well, they have, like, the countdown. Like, they usually have countdowns.
Those, like, top 100 movies?
Oh.
Those countdowns were great.
Yeah, I loved... And
they were bullshit.
So
like,
sometimes...
I didn't really like them, but...
Well, sometimes they're the same every year. And I still would sit there through all the hours because they're long.
Yeah.
But they do what? Don't they do like the 12 days or like 12 nights of horror?
Oh, I don't know.
Or something. It's like hosted. It's like hosted by somebody.
I think AMC does the 12 nights, and then ABC Family or whatever. That's
they'll have like
they do like
the Halloween Town.
Yeah. What's your favorite special of all time? Non cartoon.
So it's not Sleepy Hollow.
Not Sleepy Hollow, not Garfield, not Charlie Brown, because those are all great.
I don't know if I have a special.
Or like remember the Halloween Tree? That's great too.
Yeah, like a Halloween Town. Or like something
something
I look forward to.
Like what's your favorite special that a sitcom ever did?
Oh, I can't really remember. I mean, it's the ones you showed me, which means I wouldn't remember them because that was. I mean, we were older. I might. I have faint memories, or I might be making this up. I've realized that I've put a lot of stuff out of my head, and I make a lot of things up that probably didn't happen. But I remember something like Home Improvement.
Oh, Home Improvement ones are one of the best.
Because you remember like they had the transitions of like the fence falling or like tools crashing down. And I remember during Halloween, once again, they probably had like the howl or like the door creaking, and the graphic, like the cartoon or whatever, the drawing of whatever it be, would look just like it'd have a spider web on it. And it'd be like, "Whoo!"
The Home Improvement ones were among the best. Home Improvement and Roseanne are the two that, in my opinion, knocked it out of the park for the most part.
Now rewatching not rewatching, but watching all of Third Rock for the first time, they had some good ones too.
I think it's called Scaredy Dick is the name of the episode.
Where and like that's one where he didn't.
Good.
I don't think he understood what it was. Right? It was something like that.
And I think they were gonna call the Ghostbusters because Mrs. Dubček was down in the basement, and Harry's like, "Are you serious? It's their busiest night of the year."
So I mean, going through stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure there's tons. I mean, because I watched all the shows. I mean, they all have them. But like watching Amy Cooper now, it's a regular Halloween episode. I mean, it's not like something you were looking forward to. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I guess I will say I look forward to the whole thing because you knew that every show, all the TGIF shows were getting it. Like everybody was gonna have a Halloween episode, like eventually.
But I don't remember. Step by Step had one. Family Matters usually did pretty good. But
I'm sure
Full House does. I think they might have had one and it was weak, and then Boy Meets World never really had one. They had one where it was like a Blair Witch Project with Sean.
Really?
Where he like disappeared or something, I remember. But this is when we were older. We were in like 8th grade when this happened.
So that's the thing too, is I think I get timelines mixed up, and I think Boy Meets World is earlier in my life, but really Boy Meets World was old.
So early.
It's because I went through like at work one day we were talking about it, and I went through the whole TGIF lineup, and shows that I thought I watched when I was younger were like 98, 99. Like Sabrina even is like older.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like Sabrina, I was watching that in like 6th grade.
Clarissa.
Yeah, it was still Clarissa by that point, and not Sabrina. So yeah, I mean, you get all kind of messed up there. But
There's
I mean,
a really great Pete and Pete called Halloweeny.
I haven't watched Pete and Pete forever. But yeah, so I mean, special wise, I don't know because, like, I don't know if there are that many like special presentations for Halloween other than something of like a horror host doing something.
Modern Family has done a good job.
Yeah, they do. But like, yeah, so it's the sitcoms kind of doing that part. But there's tons of those Christmas specials where like variety shows and things like that. So yeah, but for Halloween it doesn't seem as much. And then SNL will do it too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of old SNL skits.
Oh, the David S. Pumpkins, I mean, have really did a great job. I mean, let's be honest here.
Well, yeah,
I know it's kind of one of those things that almost people might be like, no, David S. Pumpkins.
No, David S. Pumpkins was great.
Yeah, but some people might be like, oh no, it's too fucking commercial for me now. But it's so good.
Yeah, and it's something
the special is hilarious.
Yeah, it's something that we have watched every year now.
Yeah,
but like, but it's another thing of like that I have to wait. Like you don't watch it whenever. Like it's one of those times that like it can get pretty watered down. And there's all the old things like I like and it's not even older one the Bill Hader time of SNL when they did they'd have all the old time like actors come over for like a Halloween party, and so like John Hamm's in it and stuff like that. So like. If you get a bunch of like,
I don't really watch SNL, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a couple, and then like the older ones, like I'm sure there's like a Coneheads one and a Wayne's World one, and
I'm sure
So I mean, yeah, like it's more like that where I remember those things.
Or Beavis and Butthead.
Did they have one?
It's so good. Cameron loves it. It's Beavis turns into Cornholio because he eats too much sugar.
Yeah.
And it's great because he starts attacking the trick-or-treaters.
To get more?
And he goes over to the neighbor's house, the guy that kind of became Hank Hill because it's his voice.
Yeah.
But he gets a phone call during it, and that's where Beavis eats all the candy because...
But see, don't they kind of just ruin
what's that guy's name?
Don't they just ruin his life the whole time?
Yeah.
Like, they're always, like, fucking up his house or,
what's
like...
that guy's name of Beavis? Do you remember?
I can't remember the neighbor's name.
I can't remember either.
It's been a long time since I watched that show.
Oh, man. I know it. If you said it, I'd know it.
It's not Hank, like it has no relation.
No, it's not Hank Hill or anything like Hill. It's like, hey, Beavis, let's go over. But yeah.
Isn't he always in the tool shed? Is that the tool shed guy?
No, yes, but they're always whacking off in his tool shed.
Yeah. Okay, I thought I remembered something. But yeah, so I guess the point of it is to say, like, unless it's just us being old, I don't feel like it's as special anymore.
I agree with you. So I think that we have to do it for our kids because I know, like I said, Cameron watches The Great Pumpkin like 3 times a year, and then he watches Garfield like 6 times a year because we'll just like throw it on while we're like eating dinner.
Yeah.
But we all sit down and watch it as a family once. With each Christmas, Thanksgiving, even Valentine's Day, because the Valentine's Day Charlie Brown is among the best. So we make that opportunity. Grinch night.
What?
The Grinch night. Halloween night. That's a really trippy, weird.
It's fucked up.
It feels like you're watching The Wall.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I tried to show it to Maya because when all the Grinch stuff was happening, like when she was younger, and it's just like we showed her the Jim Carrey one, and then I was like, and then it came around to Halloween, and it was like, there's a Halloween one. And like we put it on for a while.
Halloween. It's just weird.
And then eventually we're just like, we don't need to watch it. Like it's weird.
Yeah,
because I remember them even showing it to us in school. Like I watched it.
I don't remember that.
Well, I don't know. This might have been in like 2nd grade when I was at Darbydale, but I remember like not even knowing about it and just being like, "There's a Halloween one." Like we've always watched Christmas one, and even in 2nd grade, going like,
I probably didn't know there was a Halloween Grinch until I was 22.
Oh, and I will say, I don't know if it's special wise, but the Mad Monster Party.
Oh, I love Mad
Monster. I do. It's really long though. Have you noticed that?
It's too long.
And
it should be 60 minutes.
And I don't know if it's because you're so used to something like Rudolph or like those types where they're short, they're made for TV.
And some
then
of those
you watch this
feel
one.
a little long.
Yeah, and then you
some
watch
of those
this
are about
one,
50 minutes long.
And it keeps going, and you're just like, is it done yet?
Like Rudolph is super long. But yes, it's a little long, but it's really good. It's fun, but it takes so long for all of them to get there.
Yeah.
Where you're like, Jesus, I'm 40 minutes in here at this point.
So yeah, I guess, do you have any other thoughts?
No, I think that short and sweet.
Okay.
Is probably the way to go.
All right, so thank you, Brad.
Yes.
And we're gonna send it back to Miles.
Who's Miles?
Grant and Brad's Ghastly Dab.
Listen.